Ogoni activist prosecuted alongside Ken Saro-Wiwa in 1995 said this in an interview with correspondent Soibi Oruwari while speaking on the UN Environment Programme UNEP report on Ogoni land.
One of the underpinnings of the Ogoni struggle had been the issue of the environment. People thought that not just for the Ogonis, but because of the visibility of the Ogoni situation, once a credible cleanup has been effected, it will now become a model for the cleanup of the other polluted parts of the Niger Delta. Unfortunately, I'm not able to say today that there has been any credible cleanup. What I see has been a contract bazaar. I also see a cover-up instead of cleanup.
As you may know, UNEP released a report in 2011 documenting the devastating impact of the oil industry in Ogoni land and set out urgent recommendations for the cleanup. Mr. Mite says the Niger Delta region continues to face the injustice of the Ogoni Nine.
It is a day for me as a person, a day that perhaps I would have been dead 27 years ago. The fact that people laid down their lives for what we are seeing. And it also has a prick in the conscience of the nation that after all these years, what has happened? Injustice still reigns in this part of the world. And it is therefore important that people rededicate themselves to do struggle for justice for which my friends and colleagues laid down their lives. But all the other Ogoni leaders that were also killed.
In other news, 4 young men were caught burgling one of the sealed brothels along Azikiwe Street, Mile 2, Diobu, Port Harcourt, less than 3 hours after it was sealed. Recall that 4 brothels were sealed over the weekend by the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, following a court order. A correspondent gathered that youths in the area alerted the police officers on patrol in the area after the suspects were seen carting away a plasma television and other valuables from the brothel. A security personnel told our correspondent anonymously that the suspected burglars aged between 16 and 20 have been handed over to the Azikiwe police station. Still ahead, President Buhari returned to Nigeria. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The Nigerian Institution of Surveyors in Rivers State has elected a new executive that will pilot the affairs of the institution for 2 years. The new chairman of the institution, Surveyor Sunday Baridi Legbara, in his acceptance speech called for the cooperation of all members to move the institution to the next level.
In winning this election, There are no claims that I can do it all, or we can do it all, or we know it all. We cannot succeed without your collective effort and support. So please, do not for us and go out. Please call us, talk to us, inform us on all our perceived mistakes and errors, so that we can serve you better. I do pray that our Lord will grant all this sacrifice you made for me today, to grant us this success, and enable us to carry the journey to the next level. My best of all, I thank you so much for all you have done.
Xavier Barry Dilegbara also thanked members of the institution for their support. He also promised to uphold the ethics of the institution.
I'm also very grateful to all of you who stood by me, supported me, and eventually came out to cast their vote for me. The major winner in today's election. I'm also grateful to those of you who campaigned against me. Your effort did not be to double my effort to reach out to almost every surveyor. It also afforded me the opportunity to interact intensely with many surveyors as to their pain and frustration with our branch. I got a feedback from all the discussions which I hope I shall work with.
Our correspondent reports that other elected executives include Olugbenga Ayodeji Fapohunda as vice chairman, Kioda Marian David West as secretary, Ima Wele Justice Jibuhe as assistant secretary, Micah Elechi financial secretary, Itekena Gladstone Akpana as treasurer, Alali George Ibim Miara as internal auditor. Others are Victor Okoro as publicity secretary, GT Pepple as council representative, CIWAZ as ex officio 1, and UE Ajie as ex officio 2. The Department of State Services has declined comment on the reported suicide of one of its officials, Adetutu Adedoku, who dumped into the lagoon on Thursday. The Uber driver whose vehicle Adedoku was in reportedly claimed she was having a conversation with her fiancé on the phone before leaving the car and jumping into the lagoon. Adedoku, who was in her late 30s, was said to have received a letter of commendation from the Director General of the DSS, Yusuf B, as the best unarmed combat operative in her set a few months ago. A video of her boyfriend proposing to her have also been trending online since the incident happened. President Muhammadu Buhari has returned to Abuja from London, where he went for a routine 2-week medical checkup. The president arrived last night. Recall, he left for London on October 31 after spending the conference and retreat for senior police officers in Owerri, the Imo State capital. Meanwhile, the APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu met with President Muhammadu Buhari hours after his return. A photo shared by the Special Assistant on Digital Communications to the President, Bashir Ahmed, showed that Mr. Tinubu was accompanied to the meeting by APC National Chairman Senator Abdullahi Adamu. On the international scene, at least 6 people have been killed and 80 others wounded in an explosion in a busy area of central Istanbul, Turkey. The blast happened on Sunday on a shopping street in Taksim Square area. The Interior Minister said the suspect has now been arrested. Vice President Fuat Oktay earlier said the blast was thought to be a terrorist attack carried out by a woman. On the news this morning, you heard claims and objections are expected as INEC displays voters' register in Rivers State. Former Mossad president says there is no proof Ogoni cleanup is going on in Rivers State. Police have detained 4 young men caught burgling one of the sealed brothels in Port Harcourt. President Buhari has returned to Nigeria, and on the foreign scene, an explosion in Turkey has claimed at least 6 lives. The news was edited by Chioma Ezenwafo. Cloudy weather in Port Harcourt this morning. Collect your PVC and vote. Your vote is your voice. I'm Sam Chinedu. Thanks for listening.